I don't think I would describe my spring style in any particular way that's different from my regular style. I mean, it's pretty much just like, imagine if an art teacher on a cartoon show was spliced with a children's TV presenter from the 1980s. Just smush those together, and I think that would basically cover it. Hello and welcome back to my tech wardrobe. My name is Caitlin and these are fashion videos sometimes. I'm going to walk you through 5 outfits that I usually use to get me through one of Canada's most unpredictable seasons. I need to tell you a little bit about spring in Canada though, at least in Ontario where I live, because spring is not really this sort of birds chirping, soft raindrops type of spring that you see on TV. It's a bit more difficult to explain. Spring in Canada can basically be bucketed into a few categories. First, the first thaw. This happens sometime maybe at the beginning of March. Temperatures climb very slightly, and then at first thaw, we start to get a little bit overexcited and we experience what's called false spring. Now, false spring can happen basically the entire month of March. The temperature gets progressively warmer, and that's good news. As we know, it is entirely false. After false spring comes the refreeze. Now, the refreeze is essentially a random bout of either freezing rain or sleet or full-on snow that usually happens sometime at the end of March, sort of early April, and sometimes as late as May, but we never actually know when the refreeze is going to happen. Second thaw. Now, after that refreeze, the temperatures have to sort of climb back up a little bit. After second thaw, what tends to happen is a heat wave. So temperatures will go way up to something like maybe 20 or even 30 at some times toward the end of April, beginning of May. But as we know, that heat wave lasts one day, maybe 2 days, and then we are back to rain. For the rest of the spring, it basically just rains the entire time. In my opinion, the key to any successful spring outfit lies in the layers. A spring outfit should be able to last you the entire day, whether it's extra cold in the morning and then it warms up later on, or if it's raining in the morning and then later on it's a heat wave. You need to be prepared for basically any type of weather. All of the outfits today will have some component of waterproof ability. Is that a word? Oh, it is now. First up is this look that I used to, when I would go into the office, wear to work a lot in the spring. This combo of jeans, graphic tee, and blazer is actually a very easy outfit to put together basically wherever you work or however you want to do it, because these elements, you can switch them out for basically any wash of jean, any type of graphic tee, and any type of blazer, whether in color or pattern. To have a graphic tee on under the blazer means that if you need to take it off at any point during the day, just the graphic tee and the jeans will work just fine. The good thing about this outfit too is that you can kind of dress it up or down, and that is entirely dependent on the shoes you choose. So you could go with a more casual flat or sneaker, or you could dress it up with a bit of a heel or a wedge, depending on what the weather looks like. If it's a little bit warmer, you could go for the wedge. If not, sneaker will always do. When those days are still a little bit chilly, what you can do is embrace spring through the colors and the patterns you choose too. I am someone who basically wears color and pattern all year round, so I'm not really too worried about making sure what I'm wearing is super seasonal appropriate, because I think you can experiment in any way no matter what the season is. But if you're a little bit concerned about wanting to feel springy while also staying warm when it's still in maybe the thaw phase of the spring or the refreeze, this type of outfit I have found works pretty well for that purpose. I've done a little bit of color matching here with the sort of orangey red of the pants and the background of the floral top. I think just having a pair of pants that are a certain color gives you a lot of options, because for me, I like all over color. We know this, you've seen my monochrome video. But what you can do is just choose a statement piece if you want and just have a nice pair of printed or colored pants and then pair it with a blouse of any kind, because what you can do with that type of outfit is just pop something like a trench over top or any other kind of jacket you need, really. And I like to pair this type of outfit with a pair of flats. But if I were going to an event, for example, after work or on the weekend, I would pair it with more of a color block heel too. So this kind of spring outfit is really up to you, but the basics that it includes is essentially just a blouse and a pair of pants. The good thing about wearing all over color though, it makes it look like you put a lot of thought and effort into your outfit, but it still looks very effortless. And you didn't actually put that much work in. So I call that a win-win. Spring is also a great time to start breaking out the dresses and skirts that you have hidden away all winter and fall long. Now for me, this looks like a more fit and flare A-line type of longer skirt, but the type of skirt you choose is really up to you. I have actually layered it with a very lightweight purple turtleneck and a cropped jacket. Now the reason for this is that during this spring season, it's still very, very cold in the morning. So even though you can get away with a skirt and to have like your shins exposed, it's still gonna be pretty chilly. So having a turtleneck to sort of balance that out fixes that problem. And when you put a cropped jacket on top, you're still letting the skirt shine and you're not overwhelming it, because these types of fit and flare skirts are quite long. So you don't want a long jacket paired with that because it's just gonna envelop you a little bit too much. So I went with the cropped option because I just like maintaining that silhouette. And as for shoes, I usually go with an Oxford or a brogue for this type of skirt, just when I'm matching it with a more structured jacket and turtleneck. Not to leave out the beautiful vintage fit and flare I am wearing today, start breaking out the sundresses around the springtime. I like to do this by, again, layering a lot. And I've actually accessorized this with a scarf, which serves the dual function of just looking really good, but also keeping your neck a little bit warmer. And I've paired this with a cute pair of Keds or sneakers in the past. I've paired it with wedges when it gets a little bit warmer. I'm talking sort of the heat wave section of the Canadian spring. And I've also paired it with a jean jacket before, just to give a little bit of contrast to that look. Another tip for spring, I would say, is don't be afraid to mix your types of clothing together. So your more fancy and more casual items, as well as your more fitted and more structured items. Spring is a really good time to do this because you're essentially only wearing transitional clothing, which means you have to layer to stay warm and you have to ensure that you're comfortable throughout the day. Again, get creative in the spring, both with color, pattern, and structure of your outfits, because this is a really good time to experiment. Spring, you know, it's new beginnings, right? Just test things out, see what works for your style. Last up is a more casual option. One thing I wanted to note about this is that I'm going back to these sort of color block pants, but don't be afraid to mix your more floral or spring pastel-y colors with your more neutral winter colors, because again, this is a transitional time, so you can pretty much do whatever you want, which is kind of exciting. So I've gone for a sort of dusty rose pant here. and I've actually just paired it with pretty much black accessories. And it's an understated way to still have a pop of color, still feel springy without necessarily committing entirely. If your closet is currently just full of black, gray, whites, neutrals, it's okay in the spring to keep wearing those. It's not as though neutrals are exclusive to any particular season. This type of outfit is something a little bit more elevated than a simple jeans and a t-shirt look, so I tend to do this a lot in the spring and pair it with a pair of sneakers and a crop jacket or a longer transitional coat. This is also just a plug for rain boots. I love my hunter boots. I have them in two colors, red and sort of a browny gray. I think they can actually be a really great addition to your outfit, whether or not you have to walk through rain or mud. I like to pair these rain boots with vintage dresses and a crop jacket because I just think it looks cute and it's also very practical. I'm actually thinking about doing an entire video about how to style rain boots because I think they are such a practical item that is perfect for Canadian spring, and I think that if you have a pair of rain boots, you can actually use those to really jazz up your outfit and really make it feel put together, so stay tuned for that later. I hope that wherever you live, spring is a little bit less volatile than it is here. Either way, I hope I've given you some outfit inspiration for this wonderful season that we are in. Hopefully we can all spend a little bit more time outside this year, fingers crossed. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked it, and if you didn't, subscribe anyway because it could be different next time. Bye. Vintage Flint.